Congressman Glenn GT Thompson, thanks so much for being with us here today. I'd like to start with what's been the talk of Washington over the last few weeks. That's, of course, the One Big Beautiful Bill. First, there's been some infighting on the House floor among Republicans regarding the passing of that bill, with critics wanting more cuts made to the deficit. What are your current thoughts on the bill as it stands right now, and what have conversations been like on the floor to this point?
Well, my perception on that is we're at fine tuning, and that's what's going on right now. There are a few individuals who would like to cut a little deeper. They're over at the White House right now with the Speaker of the House and President Trump. And then we have some members up to last evening who obviously are from blue states and are concerned about the whole state and local taxes and a deduction for that. They reached a solution last evening, and I trust with President Trump's guidance and assistance, the rest of the fine-tuning will be completed. Looking forward to getting this bill to the House floor.
Okay, so very early on Wednesday morning, the House Rules Committee met to try to push that bill over the finish line around 1 o'clock this morning. Have you heard anything noteworthy come out of that? We understand that they were in there for quite some time this morning.
Oh, we were in there. I'm not on the Rules Committee. The chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, and that's one of the committees of jurisdiction. I pulled into the front of the Capitol at 3 a.m. this morning, and was before the Rules Committee for almost 4 hours, I believe. And there was just good progress going through the Rules Committee. Right now, Rules is continuing. All the committees have testified before Rules. And now that the Rules Committee is dealing with a lot of amendments that are being offered. So they need a little bit more time, but they're making great progress.
Do you believe that they'll be getting this done pretty soon?
I do. I think they're going to be wrapping up their work relatively soon. And then, then the next stop will be some debate on the floor. I'm looking forward to being a part of that. It'll be split between the Budget Committee and the Ways and Means Committee. Chair of the House Agriculture, and we have an agriculture title within this bill, which provides a great down payment on the Farm Bill, which is so important for rural America and for the agriculture industry. I'll be speaking on the floor later this evening.
You brought up the Farm Bill just a second ago, and you've touted some significant difference makers in the bill, particularly for rural America and farmers. Tell us about those changes and why Pennsylvanians and farmers in our area should be supportive of those.
Well, mostly because the people of Pennsylvania and the farmers, including the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, Penn State Department of Agriculture, they were all part of helping me develop really what the agriculture industry needed that we put into the bill. These are items that we've pulled out that would be eligible for reconciliation from the Farm Food and National Security Act of 2004 that passed out of committee with bipartisan votes. And these are things that are so important. Our farmers are just facing a very difficult time, probably the worst economy in almost 50 years. And we have put solutions together by doing all these listening sessions, not just in Pennsylvania, but all across the country. It includes strengthening the safety net, providing more assistance on trade, enhancing insurance, which is so important, also livestock protection and research, animal health. We hear a lot about high pathogenic avian influenza. That's just one of many types of animal diseases. And in the big beautiful bill, we put a number of those provisions, probably about $60 billion worth, into this bill, and we need to have that happen. Everything in the Farm Bill there, but this is sort of budget reconciliation and Farm Bill 1.0. And then we'll have a Farm Bill 2.0 that'll come along rather quickly that won't come with, won't come with a very expensive price tag, but obviously important items that we need to advance.
Understood. Moving on to a different portion of the bill now. It's also including additional cuts and changes to SNAP benefits, which have proven to be controversial among some members of both sides. Where do you stand on those changes as they are now?
Well, that's, the nutrition title is within the Farm Bill, and that's within my jurisdiction. Listen, there are no cuts to SNAP. That is misinformation that some people are saying for political purposes. What we do is we improve the integrity of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, because these families are truly in need. We want to make sure they're being well served. Right now, they're not being well served in Pennsylvania. The error rate within Pennsylvania is unacceptable, and it leaves these families either underfunded or overfunded, and even the overfunded doesn't work because the states come back in 4, 6, 8 months and clause that. These families are struggling financially. We just make great program integrity improvements to this. The same amount of assistance that people get today, they will get this under that bill. In the future, there'll be an opportunity to increase those benefits, but it'll be limited to what the current law is, and that is inflation. And inflationary costs are the primary thing that drives up the cost of food for all families. And so there are no cuts, but it is amazing the amount of savings we were able to find just by imposing sound program integrity measures.
Gotcha. I want to turn to a few local things now to Pennsylvania. First is the Moshannon Valley ICE Detention Center. That center's operators, the GEO Group, is expanding similar centers that they operate elsewhere in the nation. Have you heard of any talks that you're aware of any expansion in the works at the Clearfield County facility?
No, I have not, but they play a really important purpose. This is a place where folks who are here, illegal aliens who are here that have been convicted of other types, that's where they basically go until their time to be deported. I really appreciate the work of the men and the women that work in that facility. It's not easy work. There's probably at any given time, I'll bet there's more than, there's got to be at least 70 different languages that are spoken. It's not easy work, but they do a great job there, and I think we all appreciate the work that they do.
Have you ever toured that facility inside? There's been some reports about inhumane conditions in there. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I have toured the facility, and I was very, very impressed with it. It was clean, it was well managed. There were opportunities for education, obviously. While people are being incarcerated after they're deported, all of their needs are met, and it's very impressive how that particular facility is functioning.
Okay, turning to Penn State now, the head of research at Penn State says some federal research funding has already been cut, and there are fears that more could be coming. He says that will not only negatively impact the university, but also the surrounding communities as well. Are you hearing from Penn State on those concerns, and what is your response to that?
Well, I hear from Penn State on a regular basis, and I know there's a lot of emphasis on research. I'm very proud of Penn State. I'm the #1 supporter here in Washington, and proud of the research. I'm more proud of the education that has been provided. And so, while research is extremely important, the original mission of Penn State is education, which we've had some conversations as lately as well as yesterday regarding their plans to close the Du Bois campus of Penn State. I think that's a huge mistake. I think that the Board of Trustees needs to back up and reimagine what education at Penn State, especially on these campuses like Du Bois.
So how are those conversations going? We know they're going to have that vote tomorrow night at Penn State. Is there any hope that Du Bois could survive these potential closures?
Well, I'm always hopeful that those powers that be at Penn State will do the right thing. We have workforce needs that aren't necessarily by associate degree, bachelor's degree, or master's degrees, certainly PhDs. And so this is a great opportunity for Penn State as a land-grant university to be engaged in meeting those workforce needs. I think Du Bois campus, we know, has a great reputation of that. They They have been played a significant role of bringing bringing innovation to the powdered metals industry, which is really based out of that Jefferson and Elk and Cameron County areas. And so that's more of what we need really right now in terms of workforce. So I just encourage a conversation that I've had with both the administration and some trustees. It is time to reimagine education at Penn State.
Congressman Glenn GT Thompson, thanks so much for taking the time and joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.